Hello, welcome to Yoga in Your Living Room. I'm Brentan, and today's practice is a restorative yoga practice to relieve stress. So I have a few items around me that you can grab. If you have a yoga bolster, that'll work. Otherwise, just pillows. Whatever pillows you have, the firmer the better, and you can even bring several. Sometimes it's nice just to kind of have a bunch of support around you. Also grab yourself a blanket. Any kind of blanket will do, but something a little bit less fluffy probably. And then if you have an eye bag, one of these guys, that'll be great. Otherwise, maybe just a hand towel. And take your time, go grab that stuff, and at your readiness, we will meet down in a child's pose. So for the child's pose, you'll grab your firmest pillow or your bolster and snuggle it right up in between your legs. I actually like a little bit more height to my child's pose, so I like to fold a blanket over it so you can stack a couple of pillows or do something like this. And you're at home, feel free to pause and make yourself comfortable. That's really what's going to be the biggest relief of stress during this time. So feel free to add some padding under your ankles or behind your knees, something that feels good. In your own time, we'll leave the tailbone circularizing down to the heels. We'll walk ourselves forward. We can lay either side of the face or even the forehead. See if you can land your elbows pretty close to underneath your shoulders. That's what feels good for me. And then even take your hands a little bit wider. Sometimes I like to move in the beginning of these poses, kind of shift back and forth. And so it's really freeing the mind of a belief that we have to be rigid or we have to obey some rules or something like that. And then feeling the whole spine, the tailbone circularizing down to the heels, and the whole back like a rainbow arc all the way out through the skull. Sometimes I even feel rolling in the shoulders a little bit, can help me feel where the arms are settling, how the ribs are feeling. And so that when stillness happens, it happens from a place of softening and accepting the pose rather than forcing. Let this be a time where the attention now spreads evenly into the entire body. Some of those sticky trains of thought might keep coming back as a reminder to pay attention to me. And the invitation is to keep the attention expanded beyond those thoughts to your entire experience. Notice if you have an impulse at any time to kind of get up and go, or just something that's kind of pushing back against this current experience. And if that's part of your experience, Notice that it's just part. Be more interested in the totality of experience. If you have your hand tilted to one side, you might like to lift it and place it on the other. Let's keep our attention spread wide throughout our entire body, our entire experience. And keep paying attention to the whole body evenly as we slide the hands underneath the shoulders. And take a little bit of weight. We can kind of rock ourselves on up to a seat. If the eyes are blinking open here, perfect. Let's do that. And so in fact, let's do that in a place where we can just be comfortable and we can just let the eyes be open. So you can sit back on your heels. You can take your kind of bottom to the ground here. You can either even lean against your furniture if you want and just kind of bend your knees a little bit and soften the eyes. And so here's a big part of this for us. Let's let the eyes soften right on the horizon. So neither high or low. And let's really let them soften. So the muscles actually that control the eyes themselves. And then whatever focuses the vision, see that now the eyes are so soft that no one object stands out to you that you're looking at. Everything just kind of floods in evenly. And you are more receptive to the periphery. So you even understand that there really are no borders to the vision, in fact. It kind of infinitely goes out in all directions. It's just that we can almost only pay attention to what's right in front of us. Now feel your face expand into this as well. So the facial muscles soften. You may even stretch them, lifting your eyebrows or taking some jaw movements, and all the while keeping the eyes still and soft in the skull. Now let's take this. Let's see, we're going to move the skull through space. As that happens, see if you can keep the eyes really soft and easy, and then crawl back over your bolster so you are in a tabletop position, hands and knees here. And here we'll take some time to move the spine in all directions, just a little bit of movement before we go right in. And so now the sensation of moving our body, the sensations in the muscles, in the joints. See if you can be evenly receptive to all of it in the same way that we're evenly receptive to our vision. Now once the spine's moved in all directions, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a twist. So you decide here, it's It's a side saddle position. You sit on one side, your feet are on the other, and basically we can fold over our bolster situation that we had for child's pose, or it come to a piece of furniture, and we'll lay ourselves in a twist over the piece of furniture with the forehead down. Okay? So 2 options. And so again, the first moments of the pose, there's no rules or rigidity or anything like that. So we spend time to even out the effort of the whole body. This may mean just intuitively adjusting our skeletons to whatever intelligence we are currently tuned into. We're gathering more. And as you begin to settle and rest in stillness, it's from a softening. The softening is from attention easily filling the entire form. And so if you find a bit of the body where the attention is stuck, either there's too much attention there, like, I'm gripping, I'm holding on, or this hurts, or something like that, that's too much attention. And then, on the other end of that, too little attention, like, what? I can't even feel my toes. That's so crazy. And so evening out the attention through the entire body, and that's what lands the body at stillness. Stillness is a result of all of that. We keep our attention wide and expanded, even when we start to add in a little bit something more to do. So you can start to prop yourself up on your hands, come on out of this pose. Keep your face open, your vision soft, all that good stuff as we start to switch and take the other side. So we get onto that other hip. It's a side saddle position with the feet, and that hip is aligned with the bolster or with your furniture. Twist the heart over, walk yourself on down to your furniture or your bolster. You can stack your hands, as we know, and put your head down. Again, not too much thought to the rules of the pose, but more so just educating ourselves on attention, intelligence. When this side feels about equal to that of the other, keep the attention wide as you come on back. You're easy with the effort. You're precise. The next and last place that we'll go will be legs up the ottoman or legs up the wall or some variation of that. So for this one, I like a pillow for my head. I just use my blanket for that. And I like my eye pillow too. So when you're ready, join me with your bottom against whatever you're gonna put your legs up on. Swivel them up. Scooch yourself close to it. Snuggle a pillow if you like underneath your head. That's not for everyone, but definitely try it and see. I think it's pretty intuitive whether or not it's the right thing. And we'll take the legs up. You can explore like some leg movements up here if that feels kind of nice right away. Like just straightening the legs for me feels kind of good. And then we'll want to find eventually that position of rest. Spine long out from the pelvis. And your hand towel or your eye pillow. If it's your hand towel, I like to fold it over a couple of times to weight it a little bit. And I like to snuggle it on there with the palm of my hands and apply a little pressure. Now feel for yourself here just by taking some long, deep breaths. Our stress can be kind of more past-based, more depression-based, or it can be more future-based, more anxiety-based. So as you take these slow, deep breaths, and deep does not mean effortful, so make these really easy. You may find that you will like to lengthen one side of the breath. For example, lengthening the exhales so that they're a little bit longer than the inhale breaths. And that can help oftentimes with that feeling of anxiety. And it's really, we don't want to make anything up psychologically and then, say, diagnose ourselves and then say, this is what I'll do to get rid of it. That's not how this works. It's more tuning in and just seeing with the body, with how the sensations are, how the body is kind of holding itself. Is it kind of pent up here? Does it need to let out some breath? If so, lengthen the exhales out a little bit longer than those inhales. Or conversely, does it feel like the body is shriveled? Like, wow, I just need to take a deep breath in. Like, that's what feels good here. That's what makes this feel alive and full and free. Then you might be one to lengthen your inhales longer than your exhales. We can tell that we're doing this right because we'll get progressively calmer, more relaxed in the joints and the body, as if we're accepting this position, as if quicksand were kind of pulling us down a bit, taking the form of us and just holding us there. And so if that's the case, you might find that the breath can easily move towards just a free roaming breath, something that the body does naturally without psychologically controlling it at all. And if it doesn't naturally go that way, then go be wherever you're most interested in being. That's the real stress relief. Now I'll leave us here in case you want to explore this a little bit more, or even do a few more yoga poses after this, just something that feels nice or even a bit more active if you haven't moved much today. When you do decide to move, let it not be from this agenda of needing to get up and go do something else. Let it be this celebration, this wow, as if you were a newborn baby and you've never moved this particular body before. Thank you so much for joining in this practice. If you like what we did today, make sure you subscribe because we add new videos every week. Thanks again.